What is up YouTube? It is your boy Dingalingasing, and in today's in-depth comparison we are looking at the XM4 vs M4A1 in Warzone. We're going to be diving deep into the weapon stats, the damage profile, the best attachments, also which secondary weapon will best suit these weapons in certain situations, and also we're going to be checking out the recoil control. Before we get into this comparison, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe and actually put the bell notification on, because I've got many more comparison videos coming out. For example, the FFAR versus the Ram 7, the Tundra versus the HDR Sniper, and even the Bullfrog versus the Bison. Let's kickstart this comparison video starting with the weapon stats. Starting off with the fire rate. Now the XM4 has a fire rate of 727 rounds per minute and the M4A1 is 809 rounds per minute. The bullet velocity for the XM4 is 615 meters per second and the M4A1 is at 720 meters per second. The ADS speed for the XM4 is at 237 milliseconds and for the M4A1 it's at 233 milliseconds. Reload is very similar. 2.35 seconds for the XM4 and M4A1 2.27 seconds. Movement speed, XM4 is 4.625 meters per second and for the M4A1 it is 4.703 meters per second. By looking at these stats, the M4A1 is definitely doing better than the XM4. But now let's have a look at the damage profile where things actually get interesting. Starting with the XM4, this weapon deals 48 damage to the enemy's head, which it will take 6 shots to down them if they had full health and armor. And it also deals 32 damage to the body, which means it will take 8 shots to down them. This is at the range of 22 meters. For the M4A1, it deals 42 damage to the head, which will take, again the same as the XM4, 6 shots to take them down. And to the body, it deals 28 damage, which is 9 shots. These damage stats for the M4A1 is up to the range of 29 meters. It's clear that the XM4 deals a lot more damage, however the range is a little less than the M4A1. But let's have a look if the damage profile differs a lot above 30 meters range. For both weapons, for the XM4 the damage to the head is 42, which is the same as the M4A1 up to 29 meters. And for the body, it deals 28 damage. For the M4A1 above 30 meters, it deals 33 damage to the head, which is 8 shots to down an enemy. And to the body, it deals 22 damage, which is 11 shots to take someone down if they have full health and armor. It is obvious that the XM4 is a much more harder hitting weapon, even beyond 30 meters. Okay, so the next damage profile stats, I think this is where it gets really important. This is what really matters, is the TTK, the time to kill. Okay, so let's start off with the XM4. The XM4's TTK, if all shots hit the head, is 413 milliseconds. And if all shots were hit to the body, it will be 578 milliseconds. For the M4A1, the TTK to the head is 371 milliseconds. And to the body, is 593 milliseconds. Now although the XM4 hits harder, the time to kill for the M4A1 is much faster if all shots were hit to their head. And although the XM4's damage profile is slightly higher than the M4A1, the M4A1's TTK time to kill is much faster. Only reason why is because it has better bullet velocity and it has more rounds per minute over the XM4. So in this comparison, it seems very one-sided, favouring the M4A1. But let's look a little bit deeper and actually see which weapon is a lot more easier to use in Warzone by checking out the weapon recoil pattern control. But before we get into the recoil pattern control, let's check out the best attachments for these guns, starting off with the M4A1. For the muzzle, monolithic suppressor, it keeps you off the minimap and it also increases your damage range. For the barrel, you can go for the Grenadier or the Marksman custom. The Marksman will actually give you more mobility, but with the Grenadier it actually gives you much more damage, much more range, so I'd rather go for that one. The underbarrel is the Commander foregrip. It gives you recoil control and aiming stability. For the ammunition, go for the highest one, which is a 60 round mag, especially if you're playing quads. And the optic, you can do what you like, but I definitely think that the VOK 3.0 is the best optic because it also has hidden recoil control buffs. That's the best attachments for the M4A1. Okay, so now for the XM4, the muzzle will be the agency suppressor. It works the same as a monolithic. Barrel, you want to go for the 13.5 inch task force. It gives you better bullet velocity, damage and effective damage range. Now for the underbarrel, you want to go for the field agent grip. This gives you much more better vertical and horizontal recoil control. For the ammunition, you should go for the 60 round fast mag, but I haven't yet unlocked it, so I'm going to go with the other 60 round mag option. For the optic, I definitely think you should choose either the Vision Tech 2x, it's basically like the 3x VLK optic for Modern Warfare guns, or you can go for the Axle Arms 3x. Axle Arms 3x is probably better in my opinion because it zooms into the enemy a little bit more, gives you a little bit more accuracy, but these are the best attachments for the XM4 in Warzone. Alright, so now let's check out the recoil pattern control, starting off with the M4A1. So I'm going to empty my whole clip out, 60 rounds, and as you can see it goes straight up and then slightly goes towards the right but still going vertically. Now the XM4, it seems like it's a lot more erratic, the recoil control, but the pattern is pretty much the same. It goes up and slightly towards the right. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try to control the recoil and see which one is a lot more easier. Starting off with the M4A1. I'm grouping my shots quite easily actually. It's not that difficult. So with the XM4, let's try to control it. Wow, as you can see, it's a lot more all over the place. It's not as grouped as the M4A1. I'm going to try out one more time because I just feel like I should do it again. Let's put some more stopping power bullets into this. And yeah, alright, so with the M4A1, yeah, they're very grouped together. I find this a lot more easier to control. XM4, it's just all over the place. So if you're a newbie, I wouldn't use this weapon. I'll definitely use the M4A1. But if you're a pro and you're a PC player, then maybe the XM4 is a better option for you if you want to try something out new. Now, both of these weapons are definitely effective close to mid-range. And depending on your playstyle, if you don't like to get up and close, then you definitely need a sniper because these weapons are not that effective long range. I'm not saying that these weapons do not have the capabilities of taking out anyone from a distance. As long as you know how to control the recoil, you're going to be taking out enemies from afar. But for the XM4, I definitely think a longer distance weapon like a sniper will be more suitable because the recoil on that gun is just all over the place compared to the M4A1. Now, if you like rocking the M4A1, I just reckon you should have an SMG, a close range weapon to help you out in those sticky situations because the M4A1, it does have more of a better chance of taking someone out from a distance because the recoil control is just so much more manageable. But guys, my final thoughts on these two weapons is the M4A1 is far better than the XM4. It has a much more better bullet velocity, the ADS is better, even movement speed is faster than the XM4. So my final thoughts on this, I definitely think the M4A1 is far more better than the XM4. It's safe to say that this weapon is very versatile and can be very effective in all situations. So if you're new to the game, this is the gun that you should try out first. It's definitely a weapon that's easy to use, so give it a go. And guys, if you found this video helpful, useful, valuable in any way, shape or form, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell notification on so you don't miss out on any future comparison videos. Soon, the FFAR vs the Ram 7 will be out, so don't want to miss that. It's your boy Dingaling saying, I'm out, peace.